weekly stand-up that we have, just talking about the project and what we're working on, answering questions as they come in, either here or on Twitter. Today is if you're watching this retrospectively, this is February the 6th. This week we've got a couple exciting announcements that we're just going to keep getting out in front of everyone. So I'm going to turn things over to Bill to get started because we are just 2 weeks away from some pretty cool stuff.
Okay, so in 2 weeks, what we are going to have is a weekend codathon in Minneapolis that is sponsored by Magenic. Many people listening may know Rocky Lotka. He is behind setting that up. His page there to learn more, I will put in the chat room. And right here is his sign-up page for the Twin Cities event. At the same time, we're also going to be working with the Calgary user group, Simon Timms and James. I think you were also instrumental in helping to get that set up. So if you're near Calgary on the 20th, sign up here and participate in Calgary. Folks like me and a couple other Humanitarian Toolbox members will be available online, so we can help people at either location. And I know some of the people are going to be at one location or the other. I know Mike is going to be in Minneapolis. James, you're going to be in Calgary.
That's right.
Tony Surma, I think, is trying to end up in Minneapolis. We're going to have people from the Red Cross in one or both locations if we can work that out. I probably want to work with you, James, on working with you, James Chambers, and Jim McGowan to find out who might be the right person representing the Canadian Red Cross in Calgary.
Oh, right on. Yeah, we can look into that.
That's pretty much it for me. Those are the two main things. If you're going to go to any of those events, if you look at the HTBox developer's guide, which is here, it will give you some helpful information to
so that's htbox.github.io. So that's
right.
that's on GitHub. And in fact, I'm not sure that people following afterwards or watching this after, or even who are just on the public. Yeah, if they can't see the chat, we'll tweet the links out after the call. We'll make sure that they get out there again.
Okay. So and the htbox.github.io will give you instructions on finding the projects, making a fork, cloning the repo, seeing how we handle tasks and issues, and that way when you show up that morning, you should be ready to go. We'd encourage anybody when you show up at any of these events to, before you get there, make a clone of the code so you have it on your machine, make sure you can build it, and make sure you know how to see what issues are there. So we'll assign issues to you and make sure that you're productive right away the minute you walk in. And folks like James or Mike will be around to help anybody if you've never used these tools. But at least try, so you come with questions of, oh, I tried and this didn't work, rather than I just don't even know where to start.
Yeah, certainly showing up for the codathon and then not having the tools installed, that will actually be a big prohibitive, that'll be something that blocks us. And, like we had, just from experience, we've had a codathon where people showed up without the tools installed, and unfortunately it might be 2-3 hours before they're fully online and locked in with the code base. So really encourage you, if you're going to come out and join us, make sure you download the tools, get the project forked, pull it down, make sure you can build it. If you can't, we're available on Twitter. You can find all of us on Twitter pretty easily, and we should be able to help direct you in the right direction. So
right, or ping any of us on GitHub, Canadian James, Bill Wagner, M. Hegeseth. You'll see our names in the already repo on many of the commits or issues or questions. If you have questions,
Dave
just ping us
on the call here as well is phenomenal, and he loves troubleshooting remotely. He'll probably just jump on a Skype call with you and help you out. Awesome. Okay, thanks so much, Bill. Let's just kind of do a quick survey here. Mike will come back to you, just asking you about commits and progress this week. Dave, anything on your radar this week?
I've been out of the loop for a bit, but looking to get back in this weekend. So I'm working on prompting the user when their user profile isn't complete yet. So looking to finish that up over the weekend.
Right on. For myself, I started a pull request or a branch to fix an issue sadly last year, and I left it running for a while. And now last week I did the rebase, and there were something in the neighborhood of 19 or 20 million commit conflicts. So I have to sort that out. So I am working on that this morning. Started on that this morning. I'm going to get this thing signed off today. So that's what I'm working on. And then we actually got a slew of new issues last week that Jim put together for us, and these are ripe for the picking as far as the codathon goes. So for anybody who's watching, if you're interested in jumping in, there's some that are actually marked as jump in, and you can just grab those ones, pick them up, and start contributing, just following the guidelines for how we're asking everyone to commit on htbox.github.io. Mike, any updates from your side this week?
Yeah, this week I thought I would make myself useful, so I decided to do a little bit of PR review. So there's a handful of PRs that I've signed off on, and so those are ready to merge by anybody who can. Additionally, I'll be working with Mike Moore today, who is a new contributor, but he's been really active and helpful, and so we're going to work a little bit together on some of these new issues that Tony and Jim have put out there. The idea of having different activity types. So activities should have different behaviors and characteristics based on the nature of the activity. So we're gonna think about sort of UI patterns for implementing those.
Excellent. So there was actually I'm going to pull up the repo here really quickly because there was a question that I had about extracting. I was having a conversation. I believe it was with Mike actually. We're having a conversation about breaking one of the tasks down, and am I going to be able to find it now? Let's see here. I'm not. Shoot. What was it? Was it 507 or something like that? 504. And then he's added a bunch here. Okay, great. Okay, so right. The email magic tokens. So one of the things I think anyways, one of the things that's pretty important to make something really accessible and really easy for users to participate in a system like this is not having to head back in and type in a username and password every time, and to have a link like right in the email that says yes, I want to volunteer for it. No, I can't make that date. No, I can't confirm my presence on the time. But just having a link in the email with a token on it that redirects them to the proper page in the application. So I think we need to look at that from a framework perspective, because this is going to be code that's valid all over the system, right? Like we've changed our time from an 8:30 start to a 9 o'clock start due to snow. Please confirm that you can still make it today. And they can click on that right in the email and say, yes, I can still make it today, or whatever the case may be. There's a number of scenarios like that. Please stop letting me know about updates on this activity and things like that. Not necessarily unsubscribe me from all notifications on the site, but rather I don't want to follow this task anymore or this activity anymore. There's all kinds of scenarios where we're going to need to have like a magic link that logs them in, or at least allows them to execute that thing that was in the email. So I think that needs to be a task that we break out of any of the things that are defined right now and make that available. And it would probably be great to do that ahead of the hackathon, or the codathons. Sorry, we're not hacking. We are writing legitimate professional code. So that's probably something that we can break out. Have either of you, do you guys have any ideas on how we might approach that?
Sounds hard.
Hey, I thought that was just something UASP.NET monsters would know.
You monster. Yeah, no, well, I was kind of thinking, like, if it was something just as simple as long as we knew the endpoint of where the user was going to go, we save that route in the database, we generate a token, and then we have a redirector, basically, that just accepts that token, and we make it some ridiculously long GUID, so it's not going to be tripped on accidentally, and that would probably be enough. So we just need something mechanical to pull that together.
You want to write that up as an issue with a suggested design, and
sure.
Yeah, and tag Tony, because I know he's been thinking about the architecture in quite a few different ways, and he'd probably be able to look at it and have some good review comments to make sure we get it the way we want.
Okay, excellent.
This sounds like it might be something that would be good to do as a separate assembly that we could pull into other projects too.
Right.
Sounds like it would be really useful.
Are you thinking that the token would also log them in automatically?
No, I think it would just allow them to do the one thing.
Okay.
So maybe
why
go ahead.
Why is it necessary that the URL be like a secret?
Well, maybe it doesn't have to be. The URL doesn't have to be a secret, I don't think. It's just that token needs to be not like a sequential number, right? Is all I'm meaning. So.
Sure, but I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, if we're just trying to get somebody to go to the direct page as opposed to just giving them the general link to the site and then making them figure out where they have to go, you know, we can just give them a link to the page to which they ought to go. Activity/activity ID. I mean, if the wrong person goes there, they're not going to be able to do anything if they're not logged in or they're not already assigned.
But that's the key though. Like if I'm on my mobile device, I don't want to have to log in. I just want to tap the link. So there's a lot of services that do this. For example, Slack right now, if you open up Slack on your phone and you want to log in on your phone, you don't have to type your username and password. You can actually say, send me a magic link, and then it sends you an email. You tap your notification, you tap it, and you're logged in. So we could do it in that way as well. We could send the magic link that does log them in and takes them to the correct page. We could do that.
Okay.
We're using standard forms auth, so that would totally, we just sign them in with their username and it'll properly throw them into the app. So okay, I will write that up. It looks like we lost Bill on the call. Hopefully he can rejoin, but I will type that up. Anything else you guys wanted to bring up this week?
No, I'm good.
Good from your end. Okay, Dave, are you joining us remotely next weekend for the Codathons?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'll try to be available at least, if nothing else, to review pull requests, and if not, to answer questions as well.
Awesome, and we'll try and do the stand-up at the same time we're doing it now, 10 a.m. Central. So hopefully,
all right,
join us, and we'll be like spreading over the globe.
That's right.
Awesome. Okay, thanks a lot, everyone, and we'll talk again here soon.
Cheers.
All right, see you guys.